So everybody, I found this book. It's a beautiful book. It was in my grandmother's library. Rest her soul. I lost her back in 2012, and I didn't connect with her the way I needed to. But I was able to find these books in her library that can help me connect, and this book stood out. The Door of Everything. I'm going to read to you chapter 1 and help you understand the power of this book. This was published in 1963, written by Ruby Nelson. And here we go. Chapter 1 is The Father Consciousness. And I'm going to turn down the music, but I love this album. It's J-Sav, Underground Local. Check them out. The Father Consciousness, Chapter 1. Walk with me, the guiding voice of Father Consciousness at the center of your soul. And I will lead you gently onward and raise your thoughts to the height of truth. I'm the light of life within you, and I have continued to shine through all the darkness of your manifold experiences, but your darkness has comprehended me not. I am also the light of the world and the power thereof by which it was made. Contrary to appearances, I am not a lazy God who created the world and rested, then kept right on resting, indifferent to the fate of the many souls I made. The truth is that I am always with you, no matter where you are, for in me you live and move and have your being. If you would become conscious of my presence, look squarely in my face, stretch your mind and heart, and take a long, thorough, independent look. I will be everywhere, staring boldly back at you. If you look at the sky, you will know that I am blue. If you look at the night, you will know that I am black. If you look at a leaf, you will know that I am green. If you look at the midday sun, I will dazzle you with my brightness. If you look into the eyes of your husband or wife, you will see me twinkle. If you look at the ground on which you stand, you will know that it is holy. Every particle of dirt under your feet is a manifestation of my consciousness expressing in matter, and in the microcosmic structure of this dirt exists the unchallenged pattern of my universal perfection. If you could behold these particles of dirt with extended vision, you would see that they are vibrant with my eternal light. This radiant light of my presence in all things, from the lowly weeds to the stately trees to the most opulent galaxies far flung in space, the kitten curled up in your lap is as much a part of me as the baby on your knee. And whatever you do to the least of one of these, you do also unto me. Normally, you may not think of me when you behold such commonplace things as weeds or trees or babies. You are more likely to think of me when telescopes peer into the depths of my unbounded cosmos and bring back news of the awe-inspiring reaches of stars and galaxies and cosmic clouds, or when you hear mysterious mumblings about other dimensions, other realms. A baby, you say, or weed or tree is just something formed from the dust of earth. And what is this dust of earth except a part of that awe-inspiring cosmos, which just reminded you of me? Is there anything less awe-inspiring about a baby than a galaxy, excluding, of course, the difference in size? Perhaps, if size were to be a consideration, the baby would be the most awe-inspiring, because so much of my light has been contained in such a compact bundle. When you have felt lost and desperate, yearning for a sign from me, you were surrounded by exquisite signs of beauty, growth, and color, and you recognize them not as being mine. True, my form is familiar to you. You have seen it every day. I built your world out of my own spirit and filled it with my all-pervading presence, so you would know indisputably that in me you live and move and have your being. And in you I live and move and have my being. In 1,000 different places you keep searching for me, finding tidbits of information about me everywhere you look. Though most of it turns out to be intangible and incomplete, failing to show you the way to first-hand consciousness of my presence. Nevertheless, the restlessness in your soul motivates you to keep the search continuing. Deep beneath your heart is the tantalizing sureness that oneness with me can be found. Yet I seem ever to elude, to stay just beyond reach, to lure you onward for a time, and then desert you in some cul-de-sac of confusion and frustration. All the while, I am so close to you. I have been overlooked. You have taken me for granted until you no longer recognize me. As you reach outward, hoping to find me, I hide in your mind. Your heart, your soul, I hide in the consciousness within you. For I am your well of living waters, your reservoir of life force, and if you will learn to draw from my resources eagerly and deliberately, these resources will increase and multiply until your entire being is transformed into a vessel unceasingly running over with holy radiance. My presence as your inner consciousness is just as infinite as my unending presence in the cosmos all around you. Like an iceberg on the sea, 9/10 of which is out of sight, I live within you in the form of mind, with 9/10 of me being submerged beneath your awareness. The expanse of an iceberg underwater is just as real as the tip extending above the surface, and the expanse of mind submerged below your conscious awareness is just as real as the surface mind with which you do your thinking. The submerged mind is like a sunken treasure chest, chock full of wonders, waiting for you to discover it and draw it to the surface. For the most part, it lies neglected and untouched, even though I have stored within it all my powers, all my wisdom, all the truth in the cosmos, the record of existence, the force that quickens and perfects, the peace that passes understanding, the love that conquers all. This submerged mind is your center of divine wisdom, an area of mind that does not think in the normal sense of the word. It knows. The nature of it is pure and holy. It has never been touched by limited or negative belief. It is a living part of me. When you have learned to elevate the submerged mind and integrate it with your surface consciousness, your entire being will take on its holy nature, and you will come to find that, as Jesus taught, it is indeed not robbery to be equal with God. Your submerged mind extends into the central area of feeling, the heart. I live also in your heart as a reservoir of love that is immeasurable. Your hopes and dreams and high aspirations rise up from this reservoir of feeling. They are the echoes of my still small voice, bursting through to your surface mind like notes of music springing out of the silence, forever urging you onward toward more prolific expression of your hidden skills and talents. Unfortunately, however, much more than hopes and dreams and high aspirations has been born in your central reservoir of feeling, for mind and heart have always worked together to form a powerful force. When thought combines with feeling, activity is set in motion, things are brought about. The more intense the feeling, the greater is its active force. It is for this one reason, simple though it may sound, that the many kinds of troubles with which plague the world have been brought into existence. My children have misused their thoughts. They have misused their feelings, innocently doing so, of course, not knowing of the mighty forces set in motion when thoughts and feelings blend. It is because of this misuse of thought and feeling that my planet Earth has been perverted. In actuality, it is a perfect world, which I prepared with tender care and filled abundantly with my presence. However, since thoughts and feelings are living forces, and my children have let their thinking sink to imperfect levels, imperfect conditions are in operation, abounding and rebounding, superimposed as it were over my beautiful planet, like a sinister spider web. This superimposed web of destructive forces is merely the subcreation of the surface mind, that strictly human side of the mind, which evolved away from the Father consciousness and left my treasure chest of wisdom beneath the level of awareness. Jesus called this web of subcreation appearances. Knowing that it lacked a foundation in reality, he taught the people of the world not to judge by appearances. He knew the power of the subcreation was none other than the power which surface minds were giving it by belief in negative conditions and fear of destructive forces. He knew also that submerged center of divine omniscience, which is a living part of every soul on earth. He called this center the Father consciousness and taught that he who is within you is stronger than any power without. The creative power of thought and feeling originating in the submerged mind is 10,000 times as great as the creative power of thought and feeling originating in the surface mind. For this reason, the destructive forces running rampant on the subcreation can be overcome by anyone who learns the truth of how to integrate the surface mind with the Holy Father consciousness. When I created you in my image and likeness, I made you perfect and placed you in a perfect world. I gave you a mind which is whole. It is one with me. With that one mind, however, are many rates of vibration resulting in many levels of consciousness. At the summit of the highest level of human consciousness, there is a door through which you can slip and be freed from all the influences you are under in the subcreation. That's the end of chapter 1. That message grabbed me, helped me understand what's going on, validated so many things for me. I hope it's helped you too.